Hey guys, Vicious here. Today I'm going to have an Eyefinity tutorial for you. Some people have been checking out my YouTube channel and seeing the array of Eyefinity videos that I have, and amongst them is a game called Dogfighter from Darkwater Studios. And the question people had was, how did you do this? Because I can't get it to work. And that's because this game actually was released without support for Eyefinity or any other surround gaming. It was an effort from myself and some friends from Widescreen Gaming Forum. We had gotten this to work originally with some hacking to the game. We did some file editing and some memory editing and got it to work. Now, Darkwater Studios, we tried to lobby with them and ask for support. Originally they said no, but after they saw that we had it working on our own, they responded by releasing a patch, and under the table they had enabled the options you need to make this work for the game inside of the registry. And also you can do it by launching your exe for the game with certain target values, but the registry value is a little bit easier for me, so that's the way I'm going to show you how to do this. So a little bit about Eyefinity. That means multi-monitor setup, and there's other ways to do it besides AMD's Eyefinity. NVIDIA has a surround, there's soft triple head, there's the Matrox triple head to go. So it doesn't have to be Eyefinity specifically to do this, but if you have a multi-monitor setup that you're using to play games across multiple screens, then this tutorial applies to you if you'd like to try to use it with Dogfighter. So anyways, first things first, you have to own the game, install it, go into the game, change some of your display settings, and then save and exit the game. In doing this, the game is going to populate your system registry with its values. If you try to do this tutorial first without doing that, like you just install the game and go straight into this tutorial, you're not going to find what you're looking for. Once you have done that, go ahead and go to your Windows search bar and type in regedit, hit enter, and it's going to bring up your system registry editor. So first, a word of caution, as everybody should know, when working with the system registry, if you make a mistake and change something here that you're not supposed to, it can have really bad side effects to your system. And so it's recommended before you start maybe to export a copy of your registry so that later you can import it back if you need to go back to your default settings. Now here on the right hand pane is all the graphic settings for Dogfighter. They're already here for me because this is the last place I was in my registry when I had edited it, but you're going to have to find it yourself. Now the easiest way to do this, I believe, is to go ahead and go up to Edit, Find, and type in Find Darkwater Studios. And if you click the Find Next, and you keep searching, it's going to eventually find this Darkwater Studios entry right here. And if you go into its folder tree, you'll find that it has a subfolder for Dogfighter. And the Dogfighter folder has a subfolder for your username. And then there's the final subfolder for the graphic settings. Once you've clicked on that graphic settings folder, all the registry entries are going to populate here on the right. So the only ones we're going to have to be changing, starting from the top to bottom, the graphics aspect ratio, you're going to be changing. The graphics FOV for field of view, you're going to be changing. The graphics height, you possibly might be changing. And then the graphics width, you'll be changing. So to determine these values is actually pretty easy. We're going to be using a tool that the Widescreen Gaming Forum supplies for everybody. So go ahead and go to your internet browser, go to widescreengamingforum.com, and on the left hand side of the page we have a little link that says Field of View and Aspect Calculator. So click on the link and open up the tool. You can see it here in the center of my screen. First, we're going to start with this right hand side here. The old resolution or ratio, leave the resolution at 1024 by 768. Change the old horizontal field of view to 82 degrees. And then you're going to dance over here to the left side. It's asking you for the resolution of a single monitor. Now I'm using Dell U2410s. They're at 16 by 10 monitors, so the resolution is 1920 by 1200. I'm using 3 monitors across, 1 tall, which is standard for most people. and I am using bezel compensation. If you're using bezel compensation, you probably know that you have to enable it, and you know that your resolution is unique to yourself. And in my case, my compensated resolution is 5980 by 1200. If you're not using bezel compensation, obviously don't worry about this step. Now that you have populated all of these fields, it's going to tell you that your resolution is 5980 by 1200, that your correct aspect ratio is whatever it will be. In my case, it's 299 by 60. Then over here on the right hand side, it's going to tell you that your new horizontal field of view is 145.78, which is again going to be different for you depending on your setup. So I know my values, my target values. Now I'm going to go back to the registry editor and make these changes. So my aspect ratio was supposed to be 299 by 60, so I already have that change. To make a change in the registry, click once on the entry that needs to be changed, right click and select modify, and then it'll ask you to put the new value in and just hit OK. Moving down, the graphics height for me is supposed to be 1200 pixels, so that's what I already have it set at. And then I skipped, oops, and here's the graphics field of view. And it said, like, for me it said 145.78. I just rounded off to 144. It came out and looked fine, so it doesn't have to be an exact value. So 144 is what I've placed in here. And last but not least is the graphics width, which is your resolution across all three screens. In my case, I'm using my bezel compensated resolution of 5980. Now once you've made all these changes in your registry, the next time you start the game, it's going to have proper Eyefinity support in the game itself when you're flying. The menus are going to be zoomed and not properly supported. The HUD in the game is going to be zoomed and not properly supported. But despite these flaws, the game still is much better with the Eyefinity setup than it is with just one monitor. You get a lot better feel for what's going on, and you see a lot more. So that should be all you need to know for this step-by-step. If I missed something you think is important or you still have questions, then go ahead and just send me another message and let me know. Hopefully it was useful. And I apologize for sounding like crap today because I'm coming down with a cold. It's the holidays and sleep deprivation is normal for me, and I've come down with a sickness, so got a little bit of a runny nose and congestion here. So guys, that was the tutorial. Let me know if it works for you. Maybe post some of your own videos as a response to mine, and as anyways, you know, subscribe for more tutorials and more gameplay videos in the future. And thanks for watching.